What do we need to get any task done? Well, there are 4 essential resources, or key ingredients if you like, and without any one of them, we're likely to fall short of our goal or the required outcome that we're after. So what are they? Well, let's see if you can work it out from this recent and less academic example for me. So my husband and I needed to put up a fence a couple of months ago. We put aside a couple of days to do it and roped in a couple of our DIY savvy friends of ours because although I'd love to be, we are not the most practical or knowledgeable when it comes to DIY beyond hammering in a picture hook into a wall. So we definitely needed their skills. We also needed their tools. And honestly, it really ended up with us being more like us helping them do the fence. My main skills were in the tea, coffee and snacks department, I'll admit, but they're kind of essential too, right? So it was really them putting up the fence with our assistance. But did you pick out those 4 key resources? They are time, people, skills and tools. So let's look at a more academic example. For any webinar I host, I need time to plan the content, to deliver the webinar, and I then need people. Me to plan, my glamour assistant Alistair to monitor it, and sometimes the brilliant tech people as well for support when things go wrong. On the tech note, I need the tools. I need the webinar software, PowerPoint for the slides, and of course the laptop to do it on. And I need skills. Skills in putting together the PowerPoint presentation, in running the webinar software, and in speaking and presentation skills as well. And for your team and their study, it's the same. For them, these 4 essential resources are going to look like this. They need time to get the essay written or to complete that exam or to revise the subject matter or simply to get their homework questions done. They need people. It's going to be, yes, themselves to do the work, but of course also their teachers, maybe any tutors, perhaps their friends or you as parents for help or a practice audience if they've got a presentation to do. Tools are going to include their laptop, their stationery, and of course any other practical or subject-specific items, a graphics calculator perhaps, or art equipment. And finally, skills, which I will come back to in a moment, because first, consider the fact that really students need to be minimizing those first 2 if they're going to study successfully, efficiently, and independently, time and people. So when it comes to official assessments and exams, this is ultra critical because when it comes to the people resource, they're not going to be able to have help from friends, parents or teachers when they're actually sat in that exam hall. And they do not want to be wasting time, yes, in the exam, but also in preparation, seeking out help or waiting on it during their revision. And in general, they don't want to be spending more time than is necessary on each and every task that they actually have allocated. They're almost always going to feel that there's more content to be covered when it comes to revision than there is time available. So they also want to make that as efficient and effective as possible too. Plus, they still want to have time for friends and family and hobbies. And so they want to minimize any time that is spent on homework, but also, of course, still ensuring it's of a high quality. And this is where that 4th resource comes in, skills. Students need to know and master the techniques and strategies that will make them effective as well as efficient in their study. So they don't waste time using revision strategies that aren't effective. So they don't waste time on false start after false start on that inquiry or investigation or assignment that they've been set. So that they don't have to edit and redraft their essays more and more times than is necessary, and instead can craft and construct writing that is high quality and focused on the elements that are actually going to get the marks in the rubric or the mark scheme that they're working with. They need a proven system that's going to get them on the right track from the very start and then have the techniques and skills to complete any type of task they're faced with to a high level and efficiently. So they need things like the 6 elements of exam technique that enable them to tackle questions and essays with clarity and confidence because they know exactly what the question's really asking, and they'll have the knowledge and ability to get the required information from brain to paper in the way the marking guide requires because they've revised well and they understand how mark schemes work. So these skills of exam technique, high quality written communication, and extended response structure and planning are critical for students to operate independently without being reliant on other people, with confidence as well in their study. And it's this resource of skills, therefore, that I believe to be most important, because with the necessary skills, your team can reduce or make the others more efficient. It means they're less reliant on other people like you or their friends or a tutor or teachers. They can use any necessary tools more efficiently and smoothly, and it takes less time to complete their homework or write out their exam questions or essays and still do so to that high standard. So I'm Katie Price, Great Transformation Expert, and I'd love to know which of the 4 essential resources, time, people, tools, and skills, which one do you think your team has and which do you think they might be lacking in? Leave me a comment. And also, feel free to let me know, what would you like more free resources and videos on? Feel free to drop me a comment on that or email me. And until next week, let's make this a fantastic week.